Miss Joseph, a 23-year-old mother out of Florida, is being charged with manslaughter after her two young boys drowned in a pool in Florida. Here to give us more insight on that story is Onyx News correspondent Stephanie Priester. Stephanie, this story, no matter how I look at it, is absolutely horrific. Can you give us any insight on how these young boys drowned?
It really is. I mean, it's really heartbreaking. You know, as a mother myself of two children, not dissimilar in age of these two young boys, which were 5 and 6 years old. I mean, it is a sad situation to think about. They had to lose their life this way, you know, being unsupervised, of course, of what they're being charged with for this extended period of time, that to not even have the knowledge of knowing where they were. I know there's been a lot of finger pointing that, you know, the grandmother or the great grandmothers were actually supposed to be watching these young boys, but the stories are not lining up. And there's a lot of unanswered questions that I believe that as they continue to do the investigation, that the truth will be revealed. But again, here you have another mother-boyfriend situation, that these young boys were neglected because they were unsupervised, and unfortunately they did lose their life.
They were unsupervised for what seems to be an extended amount of time, and the amount of time that they had actually drowned, and between that and when someone actually found them. Is there any communication about where the mother was, what she was doing during this extended amount of time?
Well, based on video surveillance, it was a little after 7 p.m. and it was after 9 that they were actually discovered. And to think about the fact that no one heard them prior to this happening, that the grandmother discovered them, you know, the mother was supposedly asleep. But again, you do have the reports that after having researched her phone, that for the time that she was saying or proclaiming that she was asleep, that was not truly the case. So there was some activity on her phone as far as even searching the web. So again, the stories are not lining up. Again, you have the boyfriend, of course, who is not the biological father of these two young boys. And like I said, just as a mother myself, this is such a heartbreaking story. And I just hope that the truth will eventually be revealed and she'll be able to be charged. Well, they will be charged with what's due them for this horrific situation.
So both the mother and the boyfriend are being charged at this moment.
They are. They're both. Because again, you know, his story was saying that, you know, the boys, the last time he seen them, were playing with a tablet near the doorway. You know, the mother was asleep. So there was a lot of finger pointing going on here, but somebody knows something. And I do pray that as they continue to do the investigation, that the truth will reveal itself. But again, just from the mother's response, from interviews that I've seen of her, there's no true remorse that her boys are no longer with her, and just being able to say that they're in a better place and it is what it is. I just can imagine myself personally as a mother, knowing that I've lost my two children, that's all I could really say as a response.
You know, ages 5 and 6 is an age where children should not be left alone. So our hearts and prayers go out to this entire family. We'll continue to keep them in our prayers. As always, Stephanie, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.